Hi, we're here with Andy Beale, Technology Director in Architecture Services at Guardian News and Media. Hi.
Hi.
And you're joining us from the end user event, NOA End User event. And can you tell us right now what were the key messages you delivered during your brief presentation?
I guess the key message we were making was that the way you source your suppliers goes a long way to how you're going to work with them in the future. And we took a very collaborative approach with that from the reason of building a strong relationship with your supplier right up front before you even get to contract. It means that when you get to contract, you've already got a relationship with them, and that's going to stand you in better stead in the future.
When you talk about a collaborative relationship, normally these collaborative relationships take time to develop. How do you start from the beginning with the collaborative relationship?
So we were trying to take an alternative view from the traditional competitive ITT, which is very confrontational fundamentally. We, after a down selection exercise to get to 5 suppliers that could be credible suppliers for The Guardian, we invited them to full-day workshops, one after the other, over a period of a couple of weeks, where my team, my technical team and my procurement team were with me, and they brought their bid team and their technical staff, so not salespeople, actual kind of delivery and operational people. And it was a genderised workshop and facilitated workshop which we ran, most often on their premises, in order to look at their proposed bids, refine them, talk about them, understand how they worked, and really get under the skin of what they were offering. So right from the word go, we were in an interactive process with them. We banned PowerPoint, so that actually people couldn't just sell at us. They had to actually interact with us. So right from the word go, it was that kind of interactive environment. And you're right, it is always sometimes difficult, and as I said in the presentation, actually some companies simply crumbled in the face of actually having to focus in on something real and not just a sales pitch. And actually what we felt at the start could look like a kind of very cosy way of doing this actually was very ruthless in exposing the companies. Capability or culture or how they worked. So what this led us to do was kind of get under the skin of each company, so that when we down selected further, we were already kind of understanding what made them tick. And it's led now to, we have a preferred supplier now, and it's led to an incredibly strong relationship already, and we're only, in relative terms, actually a very short way into this. It's already stood the test of time and test of some challenges that we've had already along the way. So I think you start as you would any other relationship. You talk to each other, and that's how that comes along. And
has the current economic environment, in a way, contributed to this initiative to develop more collaborative relationships?
I think the reason we're doing an IT outsource is because of partly because of the economic situation. I think the process actually is quicker and more cost effective than a traditional ITT. So in some ways that's been a factor. I think it's good business. I think whether there's challenging times or easy times, I think it's just simply a good way of doing business. I think with the pressure on at the moment because of the economic situation, then clearly it's all the more important.
And how do you manage the relationship between the supplier team and the in-house team?
We treat it as one team effectively. We have a governance structure around the process, and at a program level, the supplier team are members of that group. So we have program steering meetings. The supplier team are with us on there. So actually, we have tried to break down as many barriers as possible between the two sides, and there is just simply no them and us. So we just treat them as a selection of experts, and we work together.
And can you tell me, what do you think are the main issues facing the outsourcing industry right now?
I think we've heard some of them today. I think cloud computing is a genuinely disruptive influence on a number of IT areas. I can speak more for IT than I can for the general BPO or wider outsourcing industry. I clearly think kind of globalisation hasn't finished yet, and I think there's a kind of a second wave almost of that happening, and some of the traditional locations are going to come under pressure from some of the newer locations. So I think that's another trend that's going to carry on. And I think the current economic situation will continue to drive a lot of pressure in that market. They'll both from potentially from a consolidation point of view, or from the way that customers are reacting to suppliers, because there'll be pressure on both sides. So that's bound to create change.
And how do you think things will evolve in 18-month time?
Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. It's going to be more of the same, isn't it? I think those kind of general trends will carry on. I think in the next 18 months, well, hopefully we'll be looking at some more positive economic news. So maybe we could look forward to that.
Thank you so much, Andy. This is Andy Beale, Technology Director in Architecture Services at Regarding News and Media.
Thanks.